this for 15 years. You know how long 15 years is? Well, let's not even talk about 15 years. Let's talk about the 10 years that I've been here on YouTube, because it's my 10-year anniversary. And I posted a video about this earlier, just in case you want to go check that out. So what does that mean? It means that I know what works and what doesn't work. And I can guarantee you, if you're finding how to fix your credit on YouTube, you are getting the wrong method, okay? How much you want to make a bet? If you are sending out templates, you're doing it wrong. If you are disputing online, you're doing it wrong. If you are calling credit bureaus, you're doing it wrong. If you are hiring a company that uses the illegal identity theft method, or you hire a company that is using templates, or you hire a company that's disputing online, or you hire a company that is, here's the new one, they are using the, I don't want to be demonetized, so we're just going to say trafficking process, it's not going to work. Your negative items are still going to be there, and you're going to be here, same place, same time, but a year from now, watching some chick on YouTube telling you that you're doing this wrong. Okay, these are all fake methods, and they are not going to work. You're not going to remove your negative items, and that's it. That's it. So what do you do? What do you do instead? Well, having been here for 10 years, 10 whole years, literally first video was July 2nd, 2015. What I can tell you is there's one very specific method that does work, and it's the method that I use for my clients. It's the method that I show you right here on YouTube that works virtually all the time. Now I say virtually because there's literally nothing that works 100% of the time, and anybody that tells you otherwise is 300% BS, right? So we have to say virtually, okay? So having said that, it is the same one that I show you. It's one that you can use yourself, but it has to be done a very specific way. Now, if it were that simple, then I wouldn't have 2,500 videos that go back all those years, right? There would just be one video, one tutorial that breaks it down and explains it in plain English. And it doesn't work like that, okay? Yes, it is difficult. Yes, it takes time. Yes, you have to invest into it, meaning time, and let's say 95% of the time, okay? And let me put this on do not disturb. Let's see if I could pull this down and put it on do not disturb. Let's see, where is do not disturb on an iPhone? I don't know. I should have done this before I went live, but hey, here we go. Focus, do not disturb on. Great. Great, great, great. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Now look, this is not going to be a walk in the park, but what I can tell you with all of these years that I have behind me, that when you go and just look at your credit report, you break it down, you identify the specific negative items that you have, and then break those down and find the inaccuracies that you have, and then categorize them so that it's most important down to don't even bother disputing it, and then write a dispute letter only using those facts that you take from your credit report, you're going to get them removed. Now, if you want to learn more about that, hey, guess what? 2,500 videos that break it all down. You can even go to my playlists, okay? So I promise you that all these other methods are fake. When I say fake, it means that they do not work. Let me give you an example. So, and I'm just fixing my YouTube settings for this live. I'm not like working and like talking to you here live, okay? So, example would be disputing online, which many companies, believe it or not, actually use for their clients. Why? Because they don't have to do any sort of work, right? I mean, hey, why not get paid and not have to work at the same time? That's all fine and dandy. All right, our settings are great. Let's go back to this. Now, when you dispute online, in case you didn't know, you are giving up your rights to two very specific things. Number one is going to be FCRA 623, and the other one is section 611. So basically, you're saying that when you dispute online and the credit bureaus, they come back and they say, oh, John, Jane, sorry, it's verified. That's it. You gave up your rights to be like, oh, wait, no. No, you already said in the event that they come back and say that it is verified as accurate, that you just gave up all your rights and you're totally fine and dandy with it, okay? So How do I know this? Because I read the terms and conditions. How do I know this? Well, that's because, well, I thought about it and I was like, why would the credit bureaus give you, the consumer, a way to make it easier for you to dispute? They're not going to. Their job is to keep this information on your credit report. Their job is to keep you in the subprime market. Their job is to make as much money off of you, off your data that they sell, right, as possible. That's the name of the game. So if they're making things easier for you to remove your negative items, then it literally means that they're not going to get paid, because they get paid to report this information, right? So when I broke that down, just the same way that I do everything, credit reports and, you know, laws and all that kind of stuff, I was like, there's got to be something buried in here that makes it so that you're giving up something to utilize this process. And believe it or not, because you can go check it yourself, buried inside of the terms, inside of the terms, inside of the terms, inside of the terms that you agree to when you dispute online, it clearly states a couple different things, one of which has changed. So you're agreeing, just like I mentioned, that when you dispute online, you're giving up your rights to kind of just say, hey, wait, no, that's not right, okay? And that one by itself sucks, because we don't have rights as it is, right? Rights as it is, right? That's crazy. Another one is that the bureaus don't have to forward anything to the creditors. That one changed, I believe, in 2018 or 2019, or possibly even 2020. I don't know. My brain's not here right now. So they still have to forward stuff, but you also agreed that everything is going to be automated, that there's no need for any people to be involved, and there's no people involved anyways. A lot of people think that, when I say people, I'm talking about consumers, they think that there's like some conglomerate of like old white dudes sitting around a table saying, oh, should we remove this for John because it seems like, you know, oh, he's going through a hard time right now and it would be a great thing if we just remove this from his credit. It doesn't work like that. There's no table of people. There's no conglomerate. It's literally, you submit your letter, you write your letter, right? It goes to the credit bureaus. A computer or a robot, a system, opens up that letter, envelope, letter. It gets scanned into the OCR. The OCR reads your letter and puts it into the computer, the databases, these massive databases. And inside those massive databases, your letter, your envelope is matched to see if it's been received before, in part or in phrasing or in total. And that's how they know, kind of like in college when they wanted to see if you were like plagiarizing, right? That's how they know whether you submitted this before or someone else, right? Like you bought the letter online. You are with a company who sends out nothing other than templates, right? So there's a process to this entire thing, and that's how they know that you're just full of shit. Okay, you shouldn't be sending a letter that has ever been written before to the credit bureaus. You shouldn't be sending a letter that you didn't write yourself. You shouldn't be sending a letter that doesn't have all the facts that back up every single argument that you have. You shouldn't be sending a letter that says that, or any sort of dispute really, that says that you're part of some, again, being careful, trafficking. Okay, you shouldn't be sending a letter that says that you're a victim of identity theft when you are clearly not a victim of identity theft. All right, nobody believes your police report because you didn't even get up off your lazy ass and go to the police station to actually make that police report. And even if you did, that process doesn't work anymore. And yet there's all of these businesses, people, creators, whatever, telling you to utilize this process. I literally came across, I'm not going to mention who it is, but I literally came across somebody who was doing a live, right? Like, I have 14 people here. Nothing wrong with the 14 people. Thank you, 14 people, for being here. But this person had like 350,000 or 500,000 people live. And they were telling those people, all you got to do is claim identity theft. That's all you got to do. Claim identity theft. Say that you didn't open these accounts. You don't know what they are. Go get a police report and boom, you're gonna have them removed. What? You just told these people to commit a crime. You literally just told people to commit a crime. Okay, that's one thing entirely. That's like a whole different video. I'm not gonna give my opinion on that, okay? But I will say that it doesn't work. Okay, if you did not literally have your identity stolen from you, your purse was stolen, your identity was stolen online, someone broke into your car, and somehow, because you're stupid enough to keep your social security card in your car, in your wallet, in the glove compartment, they literally stole your documents, and then they tried to become you, and they tried to open up accounts. If that does not pertain to you in your situation, then hey, guess what? You shouldn't be using it. Okay, if they didn't go and open up businesses and accounts and apply for things, you shouldn't be using it. Not only that, but when you fill out that affidavit, right before you sign it, it says under penalty of perjury. Now, if we go look up what consequences there are for perjury, it's gonna literally tell you a year in jail. Okay, go look it up yourself. Like, literally, make me small and go look it up yourself on Google. What are the consequences of perjury? It's literally a year in jail. Or you can just go and find the affidavit that you signed, and it's gonna tell you right before your signature, penalty of perjury, 1 year in jail. And that's not even the 6 months in actual jail that you can do for fraud for that police report that you filled out. Okay, so identity theft is one thing entirely, and you're like, well, Kristen, I didn't claim identity theft. I hired a company, but I don't know what they did. So how do you know that they didn't use identity theft on your file? How do you know that they didn't fill out a police report? How do you know that they didn't do the affidavit for you? How do you know that they didn't go and dispute online? How do you know any of these things? Because these companies don't give you the copies of the disputes. Now, remember how we were talking about it's my 10-year anniversary here on YouTube? Well, guess what? For these 10 years, and I even showed it in that video that I posted earlier, in these 10 years, I have been fighting. I have literally been advocating for other companies to do what I do for my clients, which is to give the actual disputes, right? Because you as a consumer have the right to see what a company is doing with your personal information. Just because they're a company doesn't mean that they're not going to go and like open up accounts and do some mad fugazi shit with your information. Like that's a thing. That's a real thing. That's a real thing that these people go and do some, asinine stuff with your information. And how do you know that that's not what they're doing? You don't, because they're not giving you the copies of disputes. They're not, let's go over everything that they're not doing that I do for my clients, right? Because, hey, 10-year anniversary, I feel like kind of just pat myself on the back. So they only dispute a couple negative items. They only do one bureau at a time. They send out templates, because we already talked about that, right? Or they dispute online, or they do the legal identity theft method. Well, I do all negative items in all 3 bureaus, and I do custom factual disputes, which means that I know you can't see it, but I have 3 screens right here on the other side of this phone. 3 screens. One screen is where I have your credit report up. The middle screen is where I have Word up. The third screen is where I have my email up and my text messages. Why? So I can actually see the interaction between us while I'm working on your credit report and writing your letter, literally right then in the moment, taking the information from the credit report and constructing the dispute letter. Why? Because that is what works. I know what to say, when to say it, with whom to say it, how to say it, what method and strategy and technique and all that kind of stuff to use, because I don't use the, again, being careful, trafficking or the identity theft method, or I don't dispute online. I actually invested not only time, tons and tons of time and hours into learning how to do this the right way and going and getting certified with 3 different agencies and becoming a board certified expert with all 3 different agencies. But I also spent a crap load, thousands of dollars into investing into learning to do this the right way. Okay, so, and we're not even talking about courses. I'm talking about like buying books and then reading and absorbing and putting in this big ass forehead that I have. Okay, like I literally learned how to do all these things because I care enough to want to do it the right way for you. Other places don't do that. They don't dispute all the negative items. They do like 1, 2, or 3 at the same time. They don't do all 3 bureaus at the same time. They do 1. Why? You might be asking yourself, why would they do that? Well, hey, let's make this as cheap as possible for you. I think it would be better, just because of the current situation that we have going on, with the economy and politically, that you only pay $100 a month. That sounds great, right? And you'd be like, yes, that sounds great. I can afford $100 a month. Okay, not a problem. You can see results in as little as 45 days. Great, not a problem. Now, you thinking that you're gonna have results with your whole credit report in 45 days is 100% bullshit. That little line that they give you so that you can start thinking that you're going to see results in as little as 45 days is just to hook you, right? Because that's exactly what they're gonna tell you. Oh, I said as soon as 45 days, but it can take a year. It can take a year, right? A year? What do you need a year for? Oh, could it be that you're not doing all negative items in all three bureaus and using custom factual disputes, and that you are just 1000% bullshit, and that's why you're dragging me on month after month after month for an average of 2 years? Go look it up and look at the stats. I'm not going to name any companies because that's not what I do, okay? But there are companies, the big companies, that literally have an average time frame of 2 years. What the are you doing in 2 years with my personal information? Why are you dragging me on? If you had told me in the beginning that it would take 2 years to fix my credit, and I'm not even talking about 2 years to actually get results, because that's just 2 years that people sit in these processes and these programs before they just say, you know what, I'm gonna cut my losses and I'm gonna walk away. So you don't even get those results, but they got 2,000 some odd dollars from you. 2,000 some odd dollars from you, because all they're doing is putting your information into their CRM and then automatically processing your disputes every single month. They're not even writing these letters for you. There's no people in this process. Like, I can go and make their process. Like, I can literally write a piece of software that'll do this for me, and then just import your information, hit enter, because my keyboard's right here, just hit enter, and guess what? It's going to create 12 rounds of disputes, and then I'm just gonna put the other ones away, and I'm gonna send out the first one, and then I'm gonna send out the second one, and I'm gonna send out the third one. And now, with the way that, software is and getting all like, fancy with it, it will send you automatic progress reports. There's nothing in this where there's anybody caring about you and your credit and what you're trying to do and your goals. Why would you ever put yourself in that situation? Oh, could it possibly be that you didn't know? That you didn't know that that's what they do, that they keep you in these processes for 2 years? Could it possibly be that you didn't know that they do trafficking as a dispute reason? Could it possibly be that you didn't know that they were disputing online, or that you shouldn't dispute online, or that you shouldn't use the identity theft process? I mean, that one's kind of like a no-brainer, but I'm gonna give you benefit of doubt here, okay? Because sometimes they make it sound to be something else. So I'm not gonna be that hard on you, but I should be. Why? Because I've been here for 10 years telling you the truth about this process. I've been here for 10 years telling you not to use the dispute templates. I've been here for 10 years, 10 whole freaking years. My son is 10 years old, my oldest. I have a 10-year-old and I have a 7-year-old. And guess what? My son is 10 years old, the same amount of time that I've been doing this, telling you all the secrets and telling you all the processes, step by step, freaking whiteboard videos and everything. So I have the right to tell you that you are doing this wrong. These are fake methods. They're not going to work. And if you continue to do them, you are not removing your negative items. Not now, not at all. Especially not right now. We're not going to get into a political conversation here, but I am going to tell you that holy shit, is it difficult to get results right now if you don't know what you're doing. So please heed my warning. When you go and see these people that are on these 500-person lives telling you to commit a felony, you should probably think twice. When you hire a company and they tell you that you can see results in as little as 45 days, but we're going to charge you monthly, you need to use your brain, because that does not compute. That does not compute. Those two things on the other side of the equal are not the same. So if it's going to be that fast, why are you charging me monthly? Shouldn't it be like a one-time payment? Or maybe you should tell me that it's X amount split into 3 payments because it's that fast. Kind of like my program is only 90 days, right? I don't charge you monthly because mine is only 90 days. Why is it only 90 days? Why is mine so much faster? Why do I get results so much faster than these other places? Because, again, I don't use templates. I dispute all negative items at the same time, all 3 bureaus at the same time. I use custom factual disputes, and I layer my process. What does that mean? It means that while I could do all these different things at the same time, all 9,000 different methods and tactics and whatnot, what I do is factual-based disputes every single round, but I do middle-of-the-month violation attacks, and I also start with manual metro 2 and then go to eOscar code disputes, and then I also do CFPB complaints and all of everything at the end on that 3rd round. Why? Because it solidifies your deletions, right? It's that the rest of the hammer with the nail into the coffin. That's what it is. We surround the enemy and we come at them from all sides. We're not just disputing with the bureaus or the creditors. We're doing bureaus, creditors, collectors. If you have third-party collections, guess what? We are going after those collections too. We're not just putting everything into one basket and being like, hey, that's great. We're just gonna do this one thing. No. You need to have a very specific process that's going to get results. And again, I promise you, if you are using these other methods, these fake credit repair dispute processes, you're gonna be back here in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years later, saying, damn, I wish I listened to that white chick, right? Right. Why am I saying that? Well, here's the thing, and I could literally turn my camera around and show you my text right here. I have people who contacted me that I first spoke to in 2017. Here's one from 2016. They signed up today, but I first spoke with them in 2016. Why didn't they sign up then? Because they didn't know any better, right? They didn't know any better. Again, I give people the benefit of doubt, okay? But not when they come to me and say, I want to sign up. Well, you should have signed up back in 2016. You should have signed up in 2017. I could have gotten your results. You could have had your house, your cars, all that kind of stuff. You didn't have to claim bankruptcy. You didn't have to go through any of that stuff. I could have saved you almost a decade. I could have saved you 9 years of strife. I could have saved you 9 years of paying all this extra money in down payments and high interest rates and everything that bad credit causes. I could have saved you all that. So every single week, I have people that come back to me that I initially spoke with all these years ago. Because again, I've been doing this for 15 years, 10 of which have been here on YouTube. And now if you weren't here in the beginning and you are here now, yeah, it's my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. And I'm telling you how it is. I'm telling you how it is. I haven't had time to post a lot of videos lately because I have a couple side projects that I've been doing with the software that I've been building, specific to fixing your credit and all that kind of stuff. But I just had to go live and say, number one, thank you for being here with me for 10 years. And you know, all that. And number two, in honor of my 10-year anniversary, if you want to remove your negative items and you actually want it done in a way that's going to produce results, I have a special going on right now. I don't like calling it sales. I don't like calling it discounts. It is what it is. If you want to sign up and you don't want to pay full price, well, guess what? You can do that right now. 90-day program. That means that in 3 months you're done. I don't care what you have. Collection charges, free post foreclosures, bankruptcy judgments, tax liens, whatever. And it's a one-time payment of $199. So it saves you a couple $100, okay? I don't charge monthly. Why don't I charge monthly? Because it's only freaking 90 days, okay? We already went over this. If you want to, you can sign up. Everything is down in the description. My phone number is down in the description. You can text me, or you can go to the link where it says if you want a free consultation, go to my740.com. Just, it's down there. Just open it up, all right? But guys, I gotta tell you, it's very important right now that you get your shit together, and getting your shit together includes fixing your credit. Your credit is going to be the one thing that sustains you through this thing that we're going through right now. Again, I don't want to get political, and I also do not want to say things that are going to demonetize me or basically shadow ban me on YouTube. So I have to be very careful about the things that I say, okay? But I'm just going to say, it's very important right now that you get your stuff together. Getting your stuff together means fixing your credit. Fixing your credit does not have to be difficult. It can be very, very simple. And you do want to do it with someone who is going to be transparent with you and tell you you need to sit the fuck down and wait 90 days. That's what you need to do. Okay, if you can't do that, you shouldn't be trying to fix your credit. If you want to do this yourself, but you want to do it the right way, guess what? I have an entire step-by-step course. Literally everything that I've ever created over the past 15 years, you can get access to. It's $3.99 one time. So if you want that, text me down in the description. If you want to sign up for the credit suite, guess what? Text me down in the description, or go to my740.com and it'll put you right on my calendar and I'll call you, okay? But you gotta stop. You have to stop. You have to stop with these templates, these letters that you did not construct yourself. The credit bureaus know that you are not an attorney, and even if you are, you don't talk like that. Okay, you don't talk like that. You're not going to write a letter in a manner that you don't speak. Okay, you are a consumer. You are not a freaking congressperson, and you shouldn't be coming across as such on a letter. Okay, you're not going to scare the bureaus. You're not going in with freaking guns blazing. You're not going to pull up in Atlanta, Georgia, and go into Equifax with freaking pew-pews. You know what I mean? Like, what? They're not getting arrested. Nobody's getting in trouble. The only way to win this paper war is to be the one that actually knows what they're doing. And to be the one that knows what they're doing, you have to learn how to do it. So that's why I'm saying I give you all of the tools and the know-how and everything inside my course, okay? Otherwise, I have 2,500 videos that go back to July 2015 here, YouTube, that teach you, if you don't want to go through all that and figure it out yourself and watch hundreds of hours of me explaining and breaking things down, and contact me and I will do it for you without the illegal identity theft method, without disputing online, without lying to you, without telling you that I can't show you my process, without only disputing a couple negative items per month, without only disputing one bureau at a time, without telling you that it's going to be as little as 45 days and then dragging you on for 2 years. All right? So, yeah, those are all the fake methods. Oh, don't forget, without identity theft, without trafficking, without any of those, all right? Those do not work. Those do not work. They do not work. You are not going to get results. I would bet my house, I would bet my cars, and I would bet my business on it. You are not going to get results doing it that way. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Listen to the words that I am telling you right now. You will not get results doing those methods. But when you use custom factual disputes and you actually back up what you're saying with the facts from the credit report, that's what factual based disputes are, you will remove your negative items. It just has to be done a certain way, all right? So I'm gonna stop rambling. If you need help, contact me. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day, and you can go and drop me a comment on any of my other videos. I don't turn on the chat when I am live because I already have ADHD. I don't need any more interferences going on inside of here, okay? Because I have a message that I want to deliver. So anyways, I will see you later. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you had a safe 4th. And again, 90-day process is just a one-time payment of $199, but you got to contact me, all right? Otherwise, have a great one.